Yes, we made it, ladies and gentlemen. We made it this time. The last time they was having problems on our network, and we weren't able to do the last episode. But here we is. We're back.
Yeah. What's up?
Welcome to the FOH Podcast.
Yeah.
This is season 2, episode 1. Woo-wee.
What?
Can I get a round of applause?
Yes, indeed.
Yes, gentlemen. How you doing down there, Big Love?
Man, ready to go back to sleep, work all day.
Big night.
But I'm here, so let's do it.
Listen, we have people that watch on the East Coast. It is after midnight there. You know what I'm saying? So let's get into it. First of all, we welcome everybody to the show. Everybody come in, sit down, have yourself a drink. Hey, get ready to enjoy yourself. But before we do that, we have a tradition here at the FOH Podcast, and that is somebody's ass does not belong and is not going to get to enjoy this show. So we got to throw that ass the fuck out of here. Who's it gonna be? It's going to be someone who was in the news for doing some very risque type shit, or maybe he was just doing him, whatever. Everybody talked about it though. He's a rapper, if you want to call him that, self-proclaimed. Gucci.
Oh shit! Not Lil Pimp.
So real quick, Lil Pump, he wasn't even eligible to vote.
Dumbass.
And therefore, all the bullshit. Get the
Fuck
out of here.
You are not allowed to enjoy this show. If you're watching on YouTube, please like and subscribe. It helps. It helps a lot. If you're listening and this is the following day on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, hello. Your news is a day late. But that's okay, because in the beginning, I've got sad news. Just reported about 3 or 4 hours ago. Another unfortunate tragedy for Bobby Brown.
What?
Bobby Brown Jr. was found dead in his home. He was only 28 years old, if you didn't know.
Wow.
A lot of tragedy in that family, y'all.
Yeah.
So, there's not a lot of details. Like I said, it was just reported a few hours ago. No word of cause of death just yet. So, man, rest in peace. That's a tough one. I didn't know a Bobby Brown. I didn't even know it was a Bobby Brown Jr., honestly.
Well, Bobby Brown has, a bunch of kids. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I believe that he was Bobby Christina, half brother.
Yeah, Bobby Brown. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't playing when he said he was humping around.
He meant that when he made that song.
Yeah, Sir Duke of Bareback. You know what I'm saying? Like that nigga pull out game nigga was weak sauce. Like that nigga was making them kid.
He was trying to be who's that? James Brown that made all the kids.
Yes, sir.
Yeah, everybody out there, especially brothers, everybody that been guilty of having weak pullout game.
Not this gentleman over here. Masterful with the pullout game. Masterful.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we all got kids, so you know what I'm saying. So, my if I have the highest percentage of pullout game, but you know, as far as you know what I'm saying, like you know,
No, you do not.
yeah, like you know what I'm saying, you know, your percentage, you know what I'm saying, is like 98% because you got two.
Nah,
Mine is like 99%.
I didn't try to pull out. You did.
No, not with Nick Matthew. Nah, that wasn't, you know, that wasn't attempted.
Facts, gentlemen, facts. And so we get into trippy timelines. Let me put it up on the screen. We have to get into our trippy timelines, but before we do, I would like to invite in a guest. We have a guest in the lounge.
Yeah.
Let's say hello.
Yellow. How we doing tonight?
Oh snap!
What's going on?
Yeah.
We got DJ Smooth Cat in the house, y'all.
Yeah. What's going on, people? How y'all doing?
Every time I hear your voice, like through a speaker, all I think is coffee shop.
Oh man, that's a great time. That was a great time.
The gentleman in the box down there, you guys, is also a voiceover professional.
I appreciate it.
Did some skits on some of my albums back in the days.
Back in the days.
Yeah, see, you hear that voice right there, ladies? You know that man had no pullout game. His voice is too smooth.
I really didn't have to, you know. But I also don't have
you with that.
Oh my goodness.
That's right.
Trippy timelines, y'all.
Appreciate it, man.
We got a full screen, so I'm not going to throw up the lower third captions. We're going to just do it like this. Okay. First of all, T.I. stepped back, and so commenced the Gucci and Jeezy verses. So it's getting massive hype, you know, with their ongoing beef. Actually, did I have something for that? If I do, I'll play it later. But either way, let me just kick it off. In case you didn't know, this is for people who don't know. So, you know, Jeezy and Gucci officially are going to do a versus. You know, that's the Timberland and Swiss Beast thing they've been doing since the beginning of the pandemic to keep people entertained, bringing celebrities together, having them battle out with songs, right? So everybody knows the history between Gucci and Jeezy. And if you don't know, then shit, I don't know what to tell you. But a million videos on it and DVDs and shit. That's how far back the shit go. Okay.
What's the DVD?
Right. Hell is that? 8-track tape stereo having bastard you?
Yeah, man, real to real, baby. That's how old school I am. Like, you know, I use ADAC.
So ultimately, I just put it like this. Gucci came out the gate with hella controversy. He dropped a meme that said, "Go dig your partner up, nigga. Bet he can't say shit." And it's a dude that's supposed to represent Jeezy, like diving in the courtroom over the wall and shit to get to the people. So, you know, everybody wants to know, is this going to be an in-person versus? Or is these things going to be via Skype? Is this going to be a Zoom versus? Because that sounds like he don't pull no punches, Gucci. You know what I'm saying? He also called him Snow Cone, which I thought was hilarious.
Well, honestly, honestly, that shit needs to die for one reason and one reason only. Both you niggas is rich. Both of y'all got too much to lose behind some shit that happened fucking 20 years ago. You see what I'm saying? Bury that shit, man, and enjoy y'all fucking lives. What the fuck is wrong with people? People don't know their blessings. They don't realize what they got.
This is the thing, right? There's no real beef anymore. It's just kind of funny that on the level that they are, right? Because they've both grown up. you're right. There shouldn't be any type of beef at that level, right? And so ultimately, Gucci many years ago said, he don't have no problems with Jeezy, and Jeezy said basically the same thing. Eventually, they started just recently having interviews where they were asked if they would be willing to. Both of them ultimately said, well, I know Jeezy said he would definitely be willing to, but it would have to be very, very boss-like, So it's just kind of funny that he would go to that level right out the gate. But, who knows what kind of relationship they got now. It just seems like, just trolling.
It's good for attention.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's good for attention, man.
Yeah, but I ain't gonna open up old wounds talking about dig your partner up and ask him. Like, that's that bullshit right there.
For the record, Gucci did not make the meme.
I understand that. But I'm just saying though, bro. This motherfuckers be doing on some scandalous shit to this dude. I mean, come on, bro. Like, really? Who the fuck does that? Like, what sick motherfucker that's going there and say, yeah, what motherfucker say dig your partner up and ask him? Like, what kind of gay shit is that?
Well, I look at it like
the motherfucker who made the meme. I'm sorry, the motherfucker. Look,
if somebody said people after you to kill you, I don't think if you can't joke about that, then you can't bury that beef. And so that's kind of how I looked at it, Big Luck. I was like, maybe that's the level of cool that they own.
Yeah,
it would take a lot.
Ain't no such thing as a. Have you ever heard anything as such thing as a cool death?
There isn't. Unless you freeze to death.
Yeah, like yeah, exactly. Like that nigga died cool. Like what the fuck?
Came in the morgue ready.
Nigga. I done talked to all three of you brothers. Like we ain't never had a conversation where I was like, yeah, my nigga, you heard how that nigga died cool, right? Nigga got 10 times in the face. Nigga, I was cool.
Yeah, that ain't cool
like,
at all.
What the fuck?
Go dig up your pot.
Woo. Yeah, come on, bro. Whoever made the meme up is a heartless motherfucker to even think that shit.
They go. But speaking of verses and old beef, the game has officially called out 50 Cent in the wake of the verses, the height of its success. All right. Game's manager has brought them together on several occasions before in the past. From what he said, they clubbed before together on more than one occasion. The Game and 50 Cent since the beef, right? So ultimately, I'm just wondering. We've all seen 50 Cent and how he get down, and we're gonna talk more about 50 Cent when we get to politics a little bit later. But what do y'all think? Do y'all think 50 Cent, for one, do y'all think he would go for it? Do you think he would sit and do a versus? And would he do it with the Game? And secondly, do you think that the Game has a catalog that would be able to, handle something like 50 Cent's first album and also the G Unit albums, coming out of Aftermath?
So I was watching a video today on that. It was him and Big Boy. Big Boy was asking him the same question: would he do it? And he said, "Yeah, he would do it." He said, because he was like, "Who would you battle with? Like, who would you have a versus with?" And he said, "Game." And they don't have any beef. Like, they're not
right.
According to 50, that's what he said.
Right.
They don't have any problems. So he was like, he would love to do it. He said he just couldn't play any songs with his uncle Snoop.
Oh, okay.
So,
damn.
Yeah. That was just today I saw that video.
Well, nobody wants that classic music fade.
Right.
They scared of that.
No can just do it up, cancel everything out.
Right. So that's a good one. Oh, speaking of Jeezy, recently he became an executive at Def Jam. That's basically why you're seeing a new album. I mean, when you know, putting out an album is already complicated when it comes to record labels, especially a record label you've been with for 15 years. So he positioned himself as, not the CEO or anything, but right next to, I believe he's advisor to the CEO. Mm-hmm. And and he'll be pitching that album from that place of power. Just throwing that out.
I mean, if you could take advantage of it, then fuck it, take advantage of it.
Capitalize.
Exactly.
So let me not hold y'all up anymore. I think it's time. It's time to go there. I got a little something I want to talk about with all like we were talking about the beef, but the killings and the shootings seemingly at an all-time high. And from all corners of the music game, there's been voices. Everybody got something to say about it. People was getting hung by their words, by their sentences. We're going to get into that. Who has said something and what was the internet's response? Because that's now our conduit to which we bridge with one another. It's the fucking internet. It's a hell of a filter. It's like text messages. When you send a text message and people get the emotion wrong and shit, might as well just call them. Either way, I'm calling this particular segment hunting season. That's why I'm wearing this jacket. Particularly for this segment. Because it's serious. It's very serious. So, listen, when people hunt, they more than often have to take a trophy, right? I don't mean like native or indigenous people when they hunt. I'm talking about people who hunt for the hunt itself, right? For the thrill of the kill. Mm-hmm. Or to practice on becoming a better killer, right? So in today's society, people they don't even want to see how their food is prepared and shit. It's a different world, Like my mother's upbringing, her shit was like, they shoot the rabbit, cut it open, pull the guts out, clean it, pluck the chickens, break the neck. Different society nowadays, right? So this is what I'm getting at. When serial killers kill, they have like a vulnerability tied to one another that is basically what gets them caught, right? You see the shit on TV or you read it in the books. I don't know if you're into that kind of shit, but they all have certain things in common that cause them to get fucking caught. All right. So they share this thing when they kill for fun. They have to take a trinket, a charm. They got to collect something from the victim, right? From their game. It's by their nature. So when sadists or psychos, the ones that were part of those colonizers, right? When they hunted indigenous people, they would wear their genitals in holsters and shit to show them off. They would make skin aprons, right? Like Edward Gain and shit. The Body Snatcher, Chainsaw Massacre and all that shit was, basically modeled after that man, right? So we talking about, society's serial killers, right? And hunting, because they hunt, right? Big game hunters put the heads of their prey on their walls. right? Some might stuff the bodies, but it's a bit different from like a person living in Antarctica or some shit like that, Alaska. Nobody lives in Antarctica. And they hunt down a polar bear and then wears his coat like a jacket, right? It's different. Not doing that for fun, they're doing it for survival, right? So I'm looking at this. When people, the gray area between like a sociopath and its inability to see value in a life, right? And their need to collect these trinkets and shit, and the people that hunt rappers for their chains, right? So it might be a stretch, but you know, you get where I'm coming from with this, right? They have these things in common.
Right.
So that's the reason why I'm calling this segment hunting season, and the game is rappers, right? It's funny because I wrote this a minute ago, but recently in the news, this is kind of a common thing now that people are kind of gathering, because Fivio gets shot, and he basically says that nobody is targeted more in this world right now than rappers, right? So I started to look at like when an American does like a mass killing, when they go into a school or they go into a movie theater, or I don't know, they're walking down the street and they just start shooting people up, right? They say they're a troubled youth, misunderstood, bullied, right? So if this carries any truth, then it would explain what we see in communities like Illinois, Chicago, right? With troubled youths dealing with trauma, the absence of love, and an ever-present degradation, poverty, and abuse, right? Nobody's saying this shit. We think about it, but nobody's really saying, well, these people are suffering from trauma. Maybe they're troubled, right? Maybe that's not some excuse that they're using for these psychos, right? Because usually you might find something in their childhood that really fucked them up. And they all have these things in common. So what is it that has these people going back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, and then taking the charm or the trinket? Do you think it's trauma?
I think it's I think for a lot of these youth, I think it's the thrill. I think honestly, you know what I'm saying? I've seen it in the era where people was after death row chains because they felt like it was some type of bounty on it. You know, after a while, people was just doing it because they said they can. You know what I'm saying? You know, a lot of these rappers nowadays, you know what I'm saying? They brag about having millions of dollars and they're super flashy. So to a person who's a whoop on the street that's hungry, you know what I'm saying? They're going to attempt it. They're going to try it. They feel like they got nothing to lose. You know what I'm saying? You know, and a lot of these rappers out here are out here taking these chances, not knowing that there's people out here that's hungrier than them. You know, but I feel like the way you do profit when it comes to that, you know, it's hunting season. You know what I'm saying? And like Elmer Fudd said, you know, he looking for rascally rabbits around this motherfucker. So, you know, if you out here with your chain around your neck, nigga, and this is the size of a car, you know, expect for somebody to try you. You know, and what you gonna do? Get a chain up, die trying to defend something that you can always get replaced. You see what I'm saying? You know, I mean, it's a crazy society that we live in.
It's crazy too,
Honestly.
because a lot of these killings recently haven't followed that same mantra, you know. But I just wanted to throw it out there because I thought it was important just to be said.
I feel like
Yeah, because you don't hear about
Hey,
R&B singers getting robbed like
Right.
that.
Okay.
You're not walking up on Beyonce and other motherfuckers like that.
I feel like it's a lack of psychology, man. I feel like all the issues that we have in our community stem from not having the proper understanding of how to handle the situation we're in. So it just, it's what you were taught or what you weren't taught. You don't know what you don't know. So you don't know how to handle the stress that you're going under. Some of these guys have, social issues. Some of it's PTSD. There's a lot of stuff that we have issues with. But understanding how to deal with those things it boils down to your mindset. And that's, psychology. If you're not taught how to deal with your anger, how to deal with people when they make you mad, or how to communicate your frustration, of course you're going to have these issues. People are going to do stupid things. And then you start to have a feeling of excitement or connectivity to that thing that you train yourself to do, no matter if it's good or bad. It becomes your habit. You do something long enough, it's what you do.
Yeah.
And you don't know how to break those cycles because you don't have the psychology to understand how to break it.
It's all about habits. I mean,
Yeah.
It's going back and forth. So, and also, it starts at home. If you don't have the teaching or the raising of how to handle it, such just like Mook has said, then you don't know where to direct that energy. And then it's all about, like I said, it's the parents. If the parents are involved in the same thing, they're teaching the kids how to do that stuff in the same token. So it's a flip of the coin. So either way, it can go either way. You've always taught right from wrong, and you decide what direction to go.
Right. A lot of people that I know that have had that line of trouble didn't have any parents or a system. Didn't have anything. Just kind of abandoned house living and shit. But it's no excuse, because you can take two people from that same circumstance and they can both end up completely and totally different. And it might not even break off until high school. It's like at any point something can change in your life. But I just really want to focus on the trauma.
Well, quickly, honestly, go ahead, Pete.
Oh, I was just going to say,
Excuse me.
I was going to talk about how just recently, Boosie got shot after the memorial for Mo3, who was killed on the freeway. Maybe 2 days, 3 days later, rapper Bennie the Butcher was shot at a Walmart and shit in the parking lot. I believe they were saying inside, but I believe it was the parking lot.
It was the parking lot outside.
And he was rushed to the hospital, but he's in good condition. And then just recently, Fivio Foreign was shot at. I'm not sure if he was actually shot, but you tell me.
That's why I told niggas, let's not move like this. Look at this shit. Already, we at 11:45. Shoot out. Shoot shit. Damn. Shoot shit. That fucking fast, bro. That fast. And they got my straps on the ground. Won't let a nigga this strap. Look at this shit. Look at this shit, man. Look at this shit. You don't need to hold me, bit, dog. I'm trying to tell you, that's my shit. I'm good. I wasn't in that car. I just walked up here, bro. I don't got nothing to do. He just told me to get away from my guns, bro. Which one y'all want me to do? Just step back, bro. Damn, bro. We couldn't even get in the club for this shit happening, bro. Damn, bro.
It's madness. That was Fivio was supposed to be doing a host job there. Woo. Atlanta everywhere. Texas, Florida. Meek Mill had released a statement earlier, a few days ago now, on his social media saying,
Texas, Florida.
I'll get all the main big artists in Philly a deal if they put them bodies behind them and squash them beefs. I heard about it, got some hot young bulls from my city, but they all beefing. Okay, so I don't know. I guess that's what I kind of expect should happen, but I don't know. Maybe I'm different because they were like,
I don't care. No matter what he say. Who is he?
and the internet was also like,
Don't matter who did what to who at this point. Fact is, we went to war, and now there ain't no going back. I mean, shit, it's what war is, you know? Once you in it, you in it. If it's a lie, then we fight on that lie. But we gotta fight.
goodness gracious. So,
But that's real shit. That's real shit.
don't matter what we fighting for now. Just keep killing. Shit. You in it. So, I used to sit and ponder as I got older. How could something like this end? And so I'm looking at it as it gets, crazier and crazier, especially in hip hop. I don't know, you guys. I don't know. What y'all think?
Some got to
Will
change.
there ever be peace?
Yeah, no.
Well, coming from the side of when I seen the gang shoots in LA with Bloods and Crips, it lasted for like a millisecond. And it was people who wasn't with the truce that I remember they were saying they didn't kill too many of my family members and too many of my homies to sit up there and have peace with these people. You see what I'm saying? So it's deeply embedded. You got people that's fighting each other over decades and don't even know why they're fighting. But one thing they always say is they killed too many of my family members and too many of my friends for us to have peace.
Right. So it's unending until somebody, like I said on the other episode where we were having a similar conversation, somebody would have to just take large L's, and then they would wonder if they could just say, well, you just killed, close family member of mine, but for the future of all of our kids, we just gonna let the shit go, and it's gonna be peace. I don't see anybody doing it.
I don't see that happening. Nope. If anything, if that happens, I feel like the other side who's doing the killing will take more advantage of it and keep doing it to see if they can wipe the other side out. So
Right.
I don't see that happening.
Right. And so it's time to get off the trippy timeline. And into, it is Wicked Wednesday, y'all.
Yes, it is.
Will, it's about that time.
Oh,
Time for Flag on the Play. All right, y'all. Look, deja vu or not, I just want to throw this out there because I like throwing stuff out there. Empire Records.
oh,
More death than death row. Lot of shootings, and a lot of death under one label. Am I wrong?
nah.
Who under Empire is been killed?
Damn near everybody that's been involved in these shootings and killings that are rappers are on Empire, for sure. Or, I don't know. Maybe that can be distributing artists and not completely signing them.
See, this is the thing about Death Row and Empire. See, all these rappers who are getting shot under Empire, supposedly, they're famous. But during the Death Row era, a lot of people who died in the death row era wasn't even known as far as famous. That was known on the streets. So there was a lot of deaths
So not as much of that.
you wouldn't imagine how many people died at death row behind the bullshit, and it was all with gang violence, before Tupac and after Tupac, especially after Tupac, a lot of people was dying from the 90s all the way until basically 2006.
Goodness.
Sorry, let me stop. From 96 to basically 2000, people were still dying.
Yeah.
So I mean, and honestly, there's interviews about it. There's a lot of people that died that actually I knew a few of those cats. You know what I'm saying? Even though they had reputation, there were some cool cats.
Yeah.
But all that shit was internal. It's the difference. All this shit is outside sources. Death Row was all internal.
Yeah. A lot of shootings, man. A lot of shootings. I guess Death Row just come to my mind. Speaking of shooting, Megan Thee Stallion and Tory Lanez have hopefully said their last words before court in social media. She revealed that Tory Lanez allegedly offered her money for her silence. Tory Lanez responded with a cap emoji. That's all I have to say about that. Real quick. Oh yeah, I'm gonna have to grab that. Let's go to this real quick here, y'all. Politics. Bernie Sanders. Did he predict it?
Trump is winning in Michigan. He's winning in Pennsylvania. He's winning in Wisconsin. And he gets on the television. He says, "Thank you, Americans, for reelecting me. It's all over. Have a good day." But then the next day and the day following, all of those mail-in ballots start getting counted. And it turns out that Biden has won those states. At which point Trump says, "See, I told you the whole thing was fraudulent. I told you those mail-in ballots were crooked. And we're not going to leave office." So that is a worry that I and a lot of people have. So the results, we don't know what's happened. Maybe the results will be on election day, but people should be aware.
Hey, man. It, mhm.
Go ahead.
Big luck.
Yeah, sir.
You were going to say something?
Uh,
If not, I'm
I
gonna go
mean,
ahead and
shit, bro. At this
get
point,
over to these theaters.
yeah, get to it, bro.
Okay.
Yeah, get to it, bro. Because I really had nothing to say about that issue.
Okay. Well, here we are, gentlemen, and we're going to enter another segment. We were just talking about Justin.
Hey, what's up? Can you hear me?
Yeah,
You hear me? You hear me?
I can hear you.
All right, cool. Cool, good. All right,
So,
yeah.
yeah, we were just talking about how COVID-19 is affecting things like the movie theaters, and I definitely wanted to talk about that with you.
Right. I mean, it's a lot going on, you know.
Yeah,
Remember last week when you were speaking on the $99 theater rental, right?
yeah,
With AMC, they're doing
yeah,
that right now. I guess to try to make some revenue, right?
right.
So, by the way,
That's
what's up,
that's not a
everybody?
lot of money if
What's
millions
What
of
going
up?
on,
people aren't
Justin?
doing it, right?
What up? Yeah. Just want to say what's up to everybody. But yeah, okay, so back to that. Okay, so $99 for the movies like Girls Trip, Toy Story, Conjuring, right?
Right.
149 for something like Tenet or maybe that movie Freaky, possibly. But they said
Right.
there's even a tier that they would go up to $349. So I don't know if that's for like something like Wonder Woman 1984 or something, right?
Right.
But and I'm like looking for because supposedly they have it in Riverside, Tustin, and Thousand Oaks. So when I
Okay.
go to the page to try to sign up for it, it just say all these theaters are closed. Now before a week ago, it was showing the listing. Now, maybe things have changed because, because the second wave or the
So
influx of
right.
this.
So
Yeah,
what are theaters gonna do? Like, what happened with
to keep afloat. Okay,
yeah. So
so
AMC, we saw AMC do a deal.
AMC did a deal. Cinemark and Regal. I know Cinemark's doing a deal where originally they were like, no, there's no way that we would do
Wow.
a 3 week window from a new release to
Right.
streaming, right? But now they're falling in line because they're desperate, right, to stay open, and they're doing that deal. But what came out today, right? Wonder Woman 1984, Warner Brothers was trying to figure out what they were going to do, right, with the movie. The movie's already been delayed like 3 times already, okay? Wonder Woman 84. Y'all hear
Okay.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. So they were like, okay, so maybe we're going to move it to June 2021 rather than put that $200 million movie out on streaming, right?
Right.
So today they announced that they're going to put it out on December 25th in the movie theaters, right? But
Right.
it's going to be on HBO Max that same day as well. So if you
Wow.
got HBO Max, you get it at no additional cost. They're not charging you $30 for it. It's a part of that $15 a month, subscription you pay for.
Right.
So you're not paying anything else. So the
That's what I'm
director,
saying.
yeah, the director, she was trying to support the theaters. That's not what she wanted to do, but she was like, look, where it's safe, you can go see it in the theaters, but where it's not safe, you can stay home and
Right.
watch it Christmas Day.
Hey man, I ain't
Yeah,
complaining. I bought a
yeah,
big giant fucking TV.
right. So
Big as fuck.
You got Soul and Wonder Woman 84.
Okay.
That day that you could watch one on Disney Plus, one on HBO Max, and
Wow. Yeah.
so Disney's probably sitting back, you know, gonna look at how this does, right?
Yeah.
And then that'll determine, what happens with like Marvel, Black Widow or Star
Right.
Wars and all this stuff. And so
Yeah.
I actually got some statistics or whatever. So this whole thing is like why Disney is all in on streaming because that's what they're saying like we're our main focus is that, right?
Yeah.
So I'm
Yeah.
gonna just throw some numbers out.
Okay.
So Disney bought Fox, right?
Right.
For $71 billion, right? Then they bought Marvel for $4 billion. They also bought Lucasfilm for $4 billion, and they also paid $7.6 billion for Pixar, right?
Woo!
So they got $86 billion in property, right? In IPs.
Right.
Okay. So I'm going to try to get to the point. So the Variety reported 80% of Netflix viewers, they watch licensed content, right? And only 20% watch original content. So it's all about having that library.
Right.
So like Disney Plus, they got 73 million subscribers right now in just 1 year. And only like the biggest original content they had was Mandalorian and Hamilton, right? Again, the library is key, right? So why would they, why would because they had a record year with theaters or whatever, box office. Disney did last year, 2019, right? But that's gone now, right now.
Right.
Not to say that it can't come back once they get vaccines or whatever.
Right.
But they were already making this a focus anyway. It's just got accelerated.
I'll tell you one thing, man, like what you're saying is also happening in tech. And I noticed that they've been saying like they're not going to go back. There's no going back.
No, because they want to go direct to the consumer, right? So you bypass Blu-ray, DVD manufacturing. You can bypass the movie theaters. You can cut out the middleman, right?
Yep.
So then Netflix has 193 million global subscribers. They made $23 billion in 12 months in 2019, right?
Good.
So they spent $14 billion on licensing. They just spent $14 billion on licensing. Then they spent $10 billion on original content, and then $4 billion in sales and administrative stuff, right? Good. So they got a negative deficit of $5 billion. Okay. But Disney, they getting $6 billion from 73 million subscribers, for the first year, right?
Okay.
So they're gonna get $6 billion.
Right. Yeah.
So when they raise the prices to like $10, it'll be like $8 billion, right? But see, by the end of 2023, they expect to have 200 million subscribers from their 73 million.
Good.
They expect to grow to 200 million.
Yeah.
So at $10 a month, that's like 24 billion in revenue. That's not including Hulu.
Better than they would have ever done in the theaters.
Right. So then look, okay, so that's 24 billion in revenue, $0 in content licensing.
Good.
They own all.
Right.
$0 in that. So
no more costs.
Yeah. So say they spend 10 billion on original content.
Right.
And then their administrative $7 billion. So they have a profit of $7 billion. Right.
Yeah.
So in 2019, their overall profit from everything from movies, the parks, all that was 11 billion. No, excuse me. Their net profit was 7 billion. Off of everything. Off the parks. Off the movie.
They're going so far beyond where they ever could have gone the way the shit was.
Yeah. So just imagine if they made the 7 billion just off the streaming service alone, not including the parks. Not even including like them licensing out like the toys and all that.
The Simpsons said it. Disney is going to own the world.
Yeah. So that's why, Black Widow, Marvel, all that stuff is probably gonna end up on the streaming platform.
Yeah.
And that's not to say that they're not gonna charge you an additional $30 to unlock that. Because people will pay.
Before we get into our next segment with motion pictures, I want to run this for y'all before we leave that entire subject matter. This is Jeezy dissing 50 Cent.
Why the fuck they clown nigga playing with my legacy? Solid in these streets, that's some shit that you would never be. Talking about power, weak niggas do the most. Real life nigga, you really borrow money from ghosts. All that little boy shit, yeah, it make it evident. Made millions in these streets, what the fuck is 50 Cent?
They pulling all the shots. I just thought that was funny. I just saw that like an hour ago, so I wanted to premiere it. Justin, what do you have for us in new movies that we should be looking out for?
There's a trailer that was released today for a movie that I've been wanting to see called One Night in Miami. So that's Regina King. That's her directorial debut.
Okay.
And it's got a decent cast, and it's pretty much about Malcolm X.
You said Regina King is directing this.
Yeah, this is her first movie that she directed, and I think they took it to Sundance. I'm not sure, and it just got bought up, right?
Wow.
And it's gonna be on Amazon Prime, because obviously it's not coming to theaters, but Amazon Prime, January 15th, I believe. So yeah,
here we go, y'all.
Yeah.
You brothers, you could move mountains without lifting a finger.
Minister Malcolm. Good news, the chariot is coming.
Who's the greatest?
That's right.
Jim Brown takes the ball.
Your record is gonna stand the test of time.
All together, yeah. The entire city of Miami is celebrating.
I'm the new heavyweight champion of the world, and I don't even have a scratch on my face. Oh my goodness.
Cash. Cash?
Why am I so pretty?
Hey, congratulations, champ.
I could get used to that.
I was made in America, land of the free, home of the brave.
This movement that we are in is called a struggle.
Because we are fighting for our lives.
This ain't about civil rights. They ain't giving black people what they really want.
What's that?
Hey, I was made in America. That's why I'm out here saving America.
Power.
Black power. I like the sound of that.
I wish I lived in America.
We have to be there for each other.
Heard everybody rich, all I gotta do is run, jump, kick. I'm a kick in your area. I done made it to America. I'm amazed that America brought to America.
Nice.
Man, that's powerful right there.
Right?
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch that.
Yeah, cheers to her on that one, man.
Yeah.
What in the
And
world?
said it was like based on a play,
It's crazy because it looks like that's going to be more than one night. All of that shit going on, bruh.
Yeah.
Goodness.
Yeah.
It looks good.
And again, you no additional cost, right? I mean, if you got Amazon Prime,
I sure do.
So so we still getting that quality content,
Yeah.
And it's still there. It's just in a different form,
Yeah.
So yeah. So
That's pretty crazy.
yeah.
And so we're gonna get into our next segment, unless you have more for us.
Nah. I mean, that was it.
Okay.
But hopefully,
I know you got some other stuff. I know we want to save it for the next show.
Yeah, there'll be some more trailers and stuff coming out. As we go into Thanksgiving. I want to see that Coming to America 2 trailer bad.
Oh yeah.
That's supposed to be out December 18th. And they haven't put out a trailer yet for it. They're probably saving it for this week, probably for Thanksgiving.
Yeah.
So that's definitely gonna be good.
Where's that one coming out?
That's gonna be on Amazon on the 18th. Amazon.
Y'all better
Prime.
go get you an Amazon Prime. I ain't gonna say no illegal shit on here.
Yeah, I just wish they fix up the menus a little bit, because they got them old raggedy ass movies mixed in with the new ones,
Oh
Like
yeah.
They need to struck it.
Yeah, that's probably they probably blame that shit on the pandemic. We can't get people to come in, and Apple in trouble. No, Facebook is in trouble because they've been forcing people to come to work and shit like that. I guess they probably threatening people. You're gonna be fired.
Yeah.
Bring your ass in.
I mean, but Amazon could at least with the drones and all this shit. Because I went to the grocery store, the Amazon grocery store in in what is it?
With the
Canoga Park
with the
magic
basket.
cart.
Yeah.
Basket. Yeah.
That is
Yeah.
fun.
I probably wouldn't go again though. Like that, I kind of
You
went
didn't
out
like
my
it?
way. It could only fit 2 bags in it. You can't really shop in it. You know. I mean, it's a
doing more than 2 bags, nigga.
Yeah, it's a good content. And of course, you can't take the cart out to the car, so you got to
I
carry
used to
your
always,
bag.
right.
Yeah.
You got carried the shit. I used to remember seeing
it's
like
go-
in
it's-
Italian movies. You know,
Yeah.
how in Italian movies it'd be like they go to the store and they just have one bag with a long stick of bread sticking out that motherfucker.
Yeah.
Nah,
The
nigga, I need more than
gabagool.
bread and lettuce, nigga. I'm not walking to the store just to make a fucking
Hey,
sandwich.
and the damn bags ripped. You know.
Right. How
Right.
you
They
gonna
really
walk to
did.
the house?
The fucking bags ripped. You know?
Oh, wow.
But I mean, look, it'll be a while before it gets down here to the Inglewood. You know, especially
Right.
'cause, you know, they ain't about to just let people take the carts out. You know, to the car.
Right. Yeah. My bad. So here we go, y'all. We're gonna get into politics.
Yeah.
This is another segment on the show where we talk a little politics. I don't really like to get into it too much. Shit, either taken too far or taken the wrong way. But you know, Donald Trump is like concede these nuts. So, you know, it's the 19th now. It's been a long ass time. I don't know.
Whoa.
I wanted to look at this here. You know, it's been a lot going on in the news with Donald Trump administration suing the, well, you know, they're trying to bring a case for the ballots, right? The absentee ballots that arrived after Election Day. Pennsylvania Supreme Court ruled for ballots to count that arrived up to 3 days after the election, as long as they were postmarked November 3rd, meaning no voting afterwards, just, you know, slow mail. I don't fucking know. However you look at it. Either way. November 3rd was the postmark. 3 days after the election was still accepted. The administration asked the Supreme Court to grant a new case since they lost that case. It should have been one that following Monday that just passed, and they didn't get it. They said maybe in the future we'll consider it. That's pretty much it. That's pretty much it. What do y'all think about? Do you have to be gracious? Do you have to be gracious when you're the president? Or is that just a courtesy?
I think if you have class, you're gracious and courteous. We're talking about somebody that doesn't have any class, like school out in the summer. So I don't expect anything good or positive coming from that.
You know, I used to think when I was a child that class was almost a natural thing when you have money, and then everybody else had to kind of work their way up to class. But apparently, you know, I was a kid. What you think, Justin?
I mean, I think the world, I think everybody's, the veil has been lifted, right?
Yeah.
And people's minds are probably like open, like, at least for me, where I would feel like, you know, a certain way about, you know, as far as being like a striver, being ambitious, you know, trying to get to the next level, you know?
Yeah. Yeah.
And I mean,
it's a different world.
Yeah.
It's a different world. I was talking to one of our old classmates about, you know, her daughter, she's going to college. So she missed her senior year. And then she started college. And, you know, It's all on computer, you know. And I just figured like maybe you can't miss what you never had. So to us, we're like, shit. But to them, it's like, I don't know. I guess we need to bring some young people on the show and ask them, I don't know, maybe you guys, what's that experience like with your daughter, Justin?
As far as
School.
her being online,
and, online schooling, yeah.
Actually,
what do you think?
it's funny. We had the parent teacher meeting today, right? And I mean, she's doing okay, you know. But I kind of let things go a little bit now. Like have to like really because it's all so new, right? And so even though I'm like computer savvy enough, I didn't know there was like certain programs that I could go in and just like really monitor what she was doing. It's kind of
yeah.
you know. And
Yeah,
so,
I got you.
Yeah, so I had to, you know, get her caught up on, and stuff like that. But with her, I mean, she's more of an introvert as it is, so she likes being home.
Right.
You know?
Yeah.
She likes being around us, so she doesn't miss that interaction with the kids. You know, that's
good.
just her.
Yeah.
You know, and but I mean, she still sees everybody. You know, in the little like we're looking right now. You know, she sees them in the little boxes, and she interacts with the teacher. So it's not completely like homeschool. Like she's just just getting assignments. I mean, there is interaction there. You know, they're just missing the PEs and the lunches, and actually not even the PE. I mean, they're doing yoga and stuff like that. You know.
Oh, that's dope.
Yeah, they do jumping jacks and all this stuff. So they still have a PE period that they go to. You know.
Yeah.
But long-term effects, I don't really see where it would be a problem for my daughter. You know. I think she's made the adjustment. You know, well, and I think I would think a lot of kids maybe we be feeling the same way, and I think that maybe some of this is like, you know, propaganda by the media to make it seem like, oh, kids are, you know, wanting to kill themselves because they can't go to, you know, physically go to class, you know.
Yeah.
I mean, around here in my neighborhood, I see kids hanging out with each other still, you know.
Yeah.
So, you know, maybe that's some of the cases, but maybe, you know, it's more politicized, right? With they need to be back in school because, you know, they're depressed and all this stuff. And I'm like, I mean, she's got her parents with her. You know,
I think that's probably the deal breaker on just not having everybody kind of on the same page. Would probably be that circumstances for different people make it difficult.
Yeah.
You know.
And then even like with the food, the lunch programs, because they even offer us that if we wanted to go down there and get it. So they still have that because, you know, some kids, you know, that's where they were getting their meals.
That's the only place. Yeah.
But they still have it, so you can go get the food if you choose to.
That's
you know,
good.
so they didn't cut that off, and you know.
I wish I had me some tickets.
But like even with the I think some of them they're giving the little Wi-Fi, what you call them, the Wi-Fi, the hotspots,
right?
You know, internet access. If you don't have that, and you get the Chromebooks and all that stuff, you know.
Yeah.
So I don't know. It's at least for us, it's okay, you know. And
well, there's one thing
Yeah.
that we can consider as far as being a kid, having kids, raising kids, you know. Stay away from the fucking Boy Scout.
Fuck out of here.
It is After Hours with the Fuck Out of Here podcast. And so we now have to talk about this shit. Nearly 90,000 sexual abuse claims were submitted against the Boy Scouts of America.
Damn.
This shit is like 10 times worse, okay, than the Catholic Church fiasco. All right.
Yeah.
Of course, they just plead bankruptcy. They have like all of this backlogged archive information about people that they were aware of that were doing these things, that were pedophiles, right?
Wow.
And all of the people that have come forward with their case, right, submitted their story and their information, almost none of them were any of the ones that they had on record. And they had thousands.
Wow.
I was just talking to a young lady about that.
We're talking about 100,000.
100,000 cases of
cases.
Wow.
That is crazy.
100,000 cases.
I mean, I was a Boy Scout, and
I think everybody was, right? In the 80s and the early 90s?
well,
me and KJ like, nah.
No, you weren't?
Nah.
Because
Not
I know I
New
was,
York.
yeah, I was, you
yeah,
know, the Weeblo, the Tiger Cub, and all that shit.
Damn.
Right. There you go. But my whole thing is, okay, now, how many of those troops that did that, just, I'm not trying to be racist or anything like that, but how many of them troops are black?
I don't know. That might be a whole nother shit.
Right.
You know, they might have their own whole separate
I want to actually break that down like that.
I agree with the idea that it probably was kind of a club.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a club thing, and you know, black people probably wasn't invited, fortunately. But I'm pretty sure. I'm not saying ain't no black.
Well, I'll say from my experience, right? My mom was like a den mother, right?
Right. She's there.
So she was there the whole time.
Yeah.
Right. And it was a predominantly, I guess, a black run faction of the Boy Scouts.
Right.
So it was never anything weird, you know.
Right.
At least from my experience, you know.
Yeah.
And also, I mean, we had the camps and all that stuff, you know. But
I'm glad y'all made it out.
Yeah.
So I was talking to a mother about it 2 nights ago, actually, and she put me on to this whole thing that's been going on with the Boy Scouts. She said what makes it challenging is you're not a Boy Scout beforehand. You're I guess a Cub Scout.
Right.
That's what I was, a Tiger Cub or whatever. Yeah.
From a certain age, right? There's always a parent present. Like you can't do anything without a parent. A parent's always present. But once you get into the Boy Scout section of it, when you get old enough, you don't need to be accompanied by a parent. You can be alone with the troop leaders or whoever's going on after that age. So it's easier to be got that way.
Like
you know
rooms and stuff. Yeah.
Exactly. Because there's no other adult present other than you and the leader, the troop leader, or whoever it is that's in charge. That's why
they probably
pick that way.
Yeah, and they probably know who to you know, mess with, you know.
Yeah.
Right.
Who not to, yeah.
Some people are just very a predator.
Yeah.
And like that I can't think of his name. It just slipped my mind. He was a tennis coach. He was a tennis coach. I don't think he ever coached anybody that he wasn't you know, making his victim. Almost every girl that he coached came out later.
They fit the profile that he was looking for,
right,
to be able to do what he did.
He targeted them like Epstein.
Right.
And that's why I call them predators, and that's why, you know, they are predators.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. They know.
They stalk.
Yeah.
You know, like you said, they know exactly who to pick. But Boy Scouts of America has apologized and launched a nationwide ad campaign to notify survivors that they have until November 16th, a couple days ago, to file a claim. Isn't that a fucking coincidence?
You're gonna tell me how long I have to file an accusation against?
I got 2 Boy Scouts right here. Had no idea,
right,
about this campaign.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't get no money about that.
Of course, you're not.
There's a deadline.
Put a deadline on that shit. You know.
Yeah, more lawsuits to follow.
Right.
You
Exactly. Exactly.
Basically. So, you know, usually when I do that, I call that segment "Nothing But the Devil." But we're in after hours, people. Usually, you know, I might have a shot or something, but you know, I'd rather have a wheatgrass shot. I'm on some other shit tonight. Y'all do wheatgrass shot?
Oh hell yeah! You got the
right now, I'm drinking tea right now. So
I do wheatgrass.
Look at that.
Wheatgrass, definitely.
That's what I got.
yeah, I'm overdoing it on the coffee now. So you know.
Oh, okay.
I have to, you know, scale back on that. So I'm drinking this tea.
Yeah, I bought my wife a tea maker. I spent days and shit trying to, you know, you want the one you can put your own little flowers and shit in it. And
yeah.
Percolate it. And
yeah.
She barely don't use it. Back to the coffee maker. That's how I go. That's why I be really, really thinking about what I'm gonna get people for Christmas. Just give you some socks.
Or a mask.
Yeah, this COVID though, man. Jeremiah. I mean, not Jeremiah.
Yeah.
Jeremiah.
Yeah,
right.
It's not Jeremiah.
Jeremiah,
the singer.
Yeah.
He's
a lot of people online sending prayers. He was in critical condition. Yesterday, I think 50 Cent, I guess, was in contact and said that he's responsive now.
Yeah. Wow.
Whoa.
He was out.
Dang.
Yeah, he did. Yeah.
I had a list.
He's 33 too.
Yeah, 33 years old.
Yeah.
You know, I had a list of people that were getting it at the White House after Donald Trump, but then I just said fuck it, and I deleted it. So
it's to be expected, right?
Right.
It's obvious. It's obvious.
You know.
And you hear about that guy that was rescued off the mountain? He was in the snow, and they found him, and they took him to the hospital. He was literally dead for 45 minutes, and they brought him back to life. His heart had stopped for 45 minutes.
But you said he was frozen?
He was frozen.
Yeah?
And they
that's
brought him
something
back.
to do with it. Oh, wow.
Hypothermia and stuff like that. So
I used to freeze flies in my freezer and then watch them reanimate. True story.
I used to trap insects too and put them in the freezer. Toss them in there.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you, when I was a kid, they used to call me Spider Boy because I used to collect spiders and take them to school and shit like that. Used to catch spiders, all the spiders, all kinds. I used to go to the mountains and catch spiders and shit. But either way, so I had, a relationship with catching flies because I had a lot of spiders. So I could like grab a fly out the air and shit, like Danielson. I have certain fly like gifts, like I know which direction. Either way, I'm not gonna get into all that shit. All I'm saying is, one time I took a fly, right, a green one. We call them house flies. The green one with the big red eyes, and I put them in a 7-Up bottle. I put a straw in the bottle and I closed the bottle, right. So the fly, I filled the bottle up with water all the way to the top. I was a child. It's not torturing shit if you're a kid. It's just experimenting. So the fly had made a bubble, like an astronaut on his fucking head. You wouldn't believe it. It survived underwater. This is a housefly. If you look it up, a housefly lives like at best 7 days. Survive. That's his lifespan. This fly I had in that bottle for 38 days with a bubble on his head. Yeah. It's stuff people don't know about simple little creatures. Like you can drown a fish. You didn't know fish drown.
Right.
Yeah. Either way, guys.
We're the crazy shit right now.
After our conversation like that.
Right. Oh man. There's a fire though.
I got a lot of them too. I'm trying not to. I'm trying my best. I used to catch red. No, I'm just playing. Either way.
Yeah.
If you watch the show, you enjoy the show, I hope you like and subscribe. This is After Hours. The original show ended 20 minutes ago. So we thank you for staying. Make sure you download the episodes so you can listen to them on your phone. We're on Apple Podcasts. We're on Spotify Podcasts, Pandora Podcasts recently. Go show some love for us, y'all. We'll see you in the comments section. I was not in the chat tonight, so I'm sorry. I'm about to say what's up to everybody. I was in the chat all night trying to get our attention. We need an assistant. What's up? What's up? That's Thug Diesel right there. And that's Prodigal right there. What's up, my peoples? Thank y'all for watching the show. But we out of here, you know. When it's time to leave, it's time to leave. We going to leave, and that means you also must get your ass.
Fuck out of here.